Fuck, I didn't write the fan mail down. Can you go ask? I have a. Oh, wait, I hid it somewhere in here. Just a second. Don't worry about it for now. I have a fucking complaint, an ethics complaint, and I don't remember where I fucking put it. Wait, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Hot Mike Explaining the Interwebs. I'm still working out the kinks on everything. Clearly, I'm not good at running Rumble Studio yet. Because if I was good at running Rumble Studio, I would have known that you can add the microphone, have that live, I guess, while the I don't know. What do you mean? Well, I'm not actually on. I didn't think I was actually in the thing yet. So how's it going, guys? I hope you're doing well. We're here. We're here. It's time to get back and get back into the swing of things a little bit better. I was going to do this the other day and just kind of have a normal stream, probably a little shorter than we were doing, a little shorter than usual, but was going to have a little bit of a shorter stream, and then some things happened right before that stream that kind of needed to be addressed. But now that's been partly addressed, and I'm going to avoid most of the fucking questions about it and everything else, because my case, I can't talk about much. However, in true idiotic fashion, we're probably going to discuss things a little bit, at least in the abstract, because there's a lot of misunderstanding and misconception going on and basic lack of reading skills. And I will try, if I can, to address issues generically, as generically as possible, without getting specific into my case, which is definitely going to go really well and not fuck me over in any way at all. Thanks, government. Koof straight away says, thank you for not killing yourself. Thanks, Koof. The night is young. Just kidding. Holy shit. That was a joke. All right, guys, this, just briefly to address the elephant in the stream. There's an ongoing criminal case with me, as has been released in some ways. There's another ongoing matter that runs parallel to that. It involves my family, and people are very, very eager and keen to have a bunch of details about my children, which, I guess if that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do. As far as that goes, anyone who wants this thing done and taken care of and expects me to have this thing worked out in some sort of quick fashion, welcome to the legal process and the speed of government. It is not in the hands of us happy, idle citizens. It is in the hands of bureaucrats who actually have never passed up a cheese sandwich and never will. They take their time on everything and blame you for it. They do. I don't know how else to say it. You're going to have to, at some point, encounter government in some way. And I pray to God it's not in the way that I've had to. People are saying that I'm making statements like this as some sort of conspiracy sort of accusation, or saying that there is some sort of plot against me or whatever. I mean, I have no fucking idea. I haven't ever claimed that. Other people have suggested shit like that. Go talk to them about those theories. As for me and my claims, they're very, very simple. I have constitutional rights. I stand accused by my government of acts to which I have not admitted. The government bears the burden of proving those acts beyond a reasonable doubt in the criminal matter, and a slightly lower but still high standard in the ongoing civil matter. Until they do those things, people will make up the decisions about me and any actions, alleged or unalleged, that they want under the circumstances. There's nothing I can do to prevent it. There's very little I can even do to address it. I started to say this the other night, but I will say it again because it bears repeating. The government has the unfettered ability to accuse the citizen. The citizen does not have an unfettered ability to respond to government. Though we have freedom of speech, everything we say that we are free to say can be used against you once you stand accused. Actually, technically before you stand accused, but certainly once you do. And with that realization, it means that anything the government says about you may have to go unanswered for an extended period of time. But there are answers that I can give to questions that people have that are very generic about my case. And so I can clear up some common misconceptions here right now. Anyone who suggests that I ever have refused an ordered drug test from the government is incorrect. I've complied with every ordered drug test from the government. And yes, that means I have actually taken drug tests and submitted them to the government. I know it's wild to consider, but that has happened. So any reports that I'm not doing that are flat out false. I don't care what insider sources people have. I don't care what other suggestions there are, but any suggestion that I am not doing that, like I'm adamantly refusing a court-ordered drug test, are completely incorrect. Shockingly, they're all clean. I know it's really hard to believe, but they're all clean. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to say it any other way, but the government has a problem in my case, and that is that they cannot show any evidence of drug use. And you'll find it absent in any of the documents. That's on the government. If they decide they need to show that, then they will attempt to show it. You guys know what I stand accused of. You guys can go look it up. If you do not know, I'm not going to rehash it here. So far, I am not guilty. If the government decides that they can prove that beyond a reasonable doubt, that remains to be seen, but there's a long way to go in that process. The status of my case is very simply as follows. The next criminal hearing that I have is on August 21st. This is public information. It's pretty easy to find. That August 21st hearing is called a contested omnibus, and that is a Rule 11 hearing in Minnesota, which means it is your chance to bring any dispositive pretrial motions. Dispositive pretrial motions means the resolution of the motion could resolve the entire case. That would be dispositive, right? So if you have a motion to dismiss, for example, and you win the motion to dismiss, the case would be over. That would be a dispositive motion. That's the limit for them. outside of very, very limited other circumstances. That will be on August 21st. Most people's questions about my criminal case, questions that they have for me, what are you going to do about this? What about this? What about this? Those things will be addressed largely at that hearing. That's what it's for. We will be filing paperwork ahead of that hearing if there's anything that needs to be addressed. And if it is not resolved at that hearing, it will go on to be calendared for trial. When will that be? I have no idea. That's on the court and the court's calendar. How long of a trial the state thinks, how long the state thinks the trial will take, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We are many steps from that spot. People want that spot to be done. They want it to be occupied. They want some sort of ownership or explanation or whatever, and you're just never going to get it prior to that, because I cannot talk about that stuff in my own interest and in the interest of my children, my family, everything. This all has to be done properly. So to all of you who have those wonderful, very concerned questions, I have to tell you, you'll just have to wait and watch the show unfold. Like I said, there are general things that I can talk to you about, sure. Simple matters of fact. And there are actually simple matters of misrepresented facts in the documents that you guys have read. And some of those I can certainly address. I just did in regards to any drug testing, et cetera, et cetera. Any suggestion that I refused a drug test is erroneous. I was not required to take any drug test by the government up until a certain point. Once that was ordered, which I believe was on June 7th, I've complied with all of them. The government had no right to ask me or demand me or order me to take a drug test prior to that. And I did not refuse to take anything that they requested. So that being said, I hope that clears that up. I know it won't. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, wow, in the order, it said this. Well, that's funny. And it's a funny aspect of how cases work, because you see, one side, again, the government gets to say whatever it wants. The other side has maybe an opportunity to respond. That would be me. I would have an opportunity to respond to the government saying something so ludicrous. However, that response might require testimony, and that testimony might be problematic under the circumstances. In that testimony in one area could be used in another area, and it would open doors that aren't ready to be opened at this time. Or it could simply be that the government made a mistake, or they mischaracterized something. And that can be an honest mistake rather than a malicious one. And what you'll find very frequently with government is that most of the mistakes are rather honest. The problem with them is not in their malice. Of course, a malicious government going after you would be tyranny. I have not claimed this to be the case. I've specifically stated that the system is levied against the citizen in a way that makes you feel oppressed, because it does. It is a grinding system that crushes you into nothing. The imbalance of power between an individual citizen, even one represented by a badass attorney or whatever the hell you want to say, versus a government is astronomical. And it's why we put higher burdens on the government. We can wax poetic all day about just how effective those burdens are and how effectively they're adhered to in the actual judicial process. There's a long fucking conversation to have there, and it existed long before my case, and it'll exist long after my case. The balance of power in government restrictions that can only be enforced on the government by itself has always been a logical problem with governance. If the only police of the police is the police, how effective are they at policing themselves? Our founders tried to recognize this and set up branches of government, both horizontally, I guess, vertically and horizontally. That's the Republican form of our multi-house government, right? You have the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. That's your horizontal plane. Your vertical plane would be the federal government, state governments, county governments, municipal governments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, down into the smallest, which would be, I guess, the individual themselves. All of those levels of government interact with each other, and all of them have distinct rights and powers. And some of them have rights and powers that check the others. It's a system that's designed to prevent the very concerns that are raised, but it can't be perfect at it. And so you do run across instances where government agents may misstate something, either maliciously or innocently. And unless there is someone specifically there to raise a challenge and then have their credibility outweigh the government's credibility, you're going to have that mistake enter the record. And it takes a lot to correct that. It also takes good counsel. And people do not always have good counsel. People do not always have counsel at all. And all of these things snowball into this mess that we have of a legal system. And in some ways, it really, really sucks. And in other ways, it's still the best one on the entire planet. I don't want to be under the thumb of any legal system, and I would suggest that you probably don't want to either. But those are the realities that we're faced with when we have government and have to interact with it in a hostile or adversarial way. So that's my little soapbox on the issue. But if you hear me suggest that maybe something in some document is not true, well, there's lots of things that aren't true. There's lots of things that get stated by government specifically that aren't true or aren't correct. Correcting those things takes time, it takes effort, and it takes careful strategy and planning. And just know this, I'm fighting literally every single day when I'm not on camera, which you'll note is rare these days. I'm fighting behind the scenes for my family and for my own liberty, and consequently for yours as well, because there are liberty issues at play here. And if people take a step back and look at this situation and say, would I want to be in this situation under those circumstances that the government has used? You can make your decision on how you would answer that. I know how I do, but I'm a little biased in the situation, you could understand. So that being said, if I can correct small mistakes made by government or omissions, whether malicious or incidental, is irrelevant to me. If I can correct those things for you guys, I will. If I can't, look, I'm just not going to answer that question. And that's part of it too. And here's what I know about that. And this is my last bit of blabbering about it before we start getting into some topics of choice tonight is this. I 100% realize that court and the court of public opinion are completely different. And I 100% realize that people will judge me absent any of the rules or restrictions that are imposed on government. If I don't say something, the public will make a judgment about that. And the consequence is that I have to just deal with it. You're not going to catch me complaining too much. Now, if people have basic reading issues, I may try and correct them. Or people have basic legal misunderstandings, I may try and correct them. Here's a friendly one to whoever runs the Gunt News Network. You said in your tweet about the order that was released the other day that neither I nor my wife intervened on behalf of our children. There's a very simple reason why. An intervener is a non-party to the suit who would then step in the place of a party to take over the suit if they had some sort of interest. Taking it out of the context of my case, and I said this earlier on Locals. If you're watching on Locals, I'm sorry, you're probably bored with this. Taking it out of the context of my case and putting it in the context of, say, an election fraud lawsuit like we saw in 2020. You may have a statute which requires the Secretary of State to bring suit against the state government or the State Board of Elections if there's some sort of maybe very close result that will trigger a mandatory runoff. That may require legal action from one party. Now, let's say that a Democrat Secretary of State is required by law to bring suit against a candidate who just won the Democratic election in a state, or I guess against the Elections Commission for a candidate of their same party. The presumption would be they may not go on against their own party very hard. So what you'll often find in that case is the opposing party or the opposing party candidate would intervene in the lawsuit. And they would then make sure that the lawsuit is pursued vigorously. Or, for example, if a Secretary of State is sued about maybe a gun policy, a highly volatile or controversial issue, you may have a gun rights activist group take over in that lawsuit because that might be a more vigorous defense or offense in the suit. That's an intervener. So if you say that we have not intervened on behalf of our children, that would be, I guess, technically correct, but that's only because we cannot intervene. We are already parties to that suit. So just a minor correction of a legal misunderstanding, things like that I can talk about, and I can try and clear up and provide a little bit of an educational aspect to them. Going beyond that, obviously, I'm not going to talk legal strategy. I can't talk about various disagreements I may have with things that are presented as fact, but those will be addressed in the courtroom or in motion practice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. With all that, I do thank everybody for their continued most important thing, which is offers of prayers, good thoughts, and support for my family, particularly my children. This is not a fun time for them. And as much of it as it's not a fun time for me, they're far more important than I ever have been. That's always been true in my entire life. People can decide what they will based on the facts that they see and what they determine about me and anybody else. I can't stop that, but I know it's true. And, that's all that really matters at this point, because I'm sorry to say this, your opinion doesn't mean fucking shit. No matter who you are out there, if you're not my government involved in my case with my family, your opinion is going to take a back burner to everything else I need to do. And if that means you have a negative opinion of me, cool. See, on the flip side, all will out at some point. And that's what I keep telling people. All will eventually out. Sucks for me that I have to wait for a long time to do it, but hey, them's the ropes. With that, why am I in so many people's DMs? How many people's DMs am I in? Can you give me a number, please? I have something much more important to deal with, guys. I did not have enough going on. I got something very, very critical. FanMail. That's right. We have FanMail. If you're not familiar, FanMail is an ethics complaint against me. And nope, it's not what you're thinking it's for. Believe it or not. This is an ethics complaint. I think this raises me up to 57 of these fucking bad boys. And yeah. Would you like me to read it? I guess I can read it. Well, this is to a Mr. Douglas. Mr. Douglas. Oh, he's a confidential address. I think that's a new policy. I probably changed that. Kind of funny. They didn't used to redact these, but they did now. Oh, that's good. I hope it's called the Ricada policy. I really do. I wasn't gonna read it. I was just laughing. Mr. Douglas. I won't spoil how this turned out. You'll have to wait until the end. Let's read the complaint summary here. Attorney Nicholas Ricada has a YouTube channel where he posts videos in which you, Mr. Douglas, complain he says vulgar, profane things and insults everyone. That seems fair. I don't know. I think I'm being misrepresented. You state he mocks races. Well, the 400, I just don't understand the purpose of the 400-meter race. Then he claims to not be racist. I just said I don't know why the 400 exists. You assert he mocks sexual orientation and calls people a bitch. Guys, how do you mock sexual orientation like as a whole? Is that it? I'm confused. Am I mocking sexual orientation as like a category? It's not a particular sexual orientation. You assert that he is often drinking while providing poor legal advice about an assortment of news and events online. Well, I mean, guilty, I guess. I wouldn't call it legal advice. I don't think. But if it were legal advice, it would be poor, definitely, because it's usually me drunkenly rambling through commentary about news. Lastly, you complain that he claims this office will not act against him. Oh, the lawyer's professional responsibility office. I said they won't act against me. Damn. Even with numerous complaints. No. Why would I say that? You are concerned that he repeatedly states he's a Minnesota lawyer. Well, that's just true. And his viewers seem to think he is a good lawyer. I have never claimed that. What the hell is that? I don't think that's true at all. And this is how lawyers should behave. Wait. I said that lawyers should behave like me? I don't believe it. I don't believe that at all. I mean, but I do now. I do now, yes. Lawyers should behave exactly like me in all circumstances. That'd be great. They should all do that. All lawyers should quit lawyering and just do YouTube, right? Like, wouldn't the world be a better? That's what everybody thinks. The world would be better without us. I agree. We're terrible. Like, I'm not even joking. Lawyers are fucking awful people. Oh boy. One day, guys, I'm going to tell you, I get to tell you stories and I'm saving them up. Maybe I'll do a graphic novel in the Rippaverse or something where I get to tell you stories about like really shit lawyers because, oh man, have I encountered some really great. So here we go. Well, the spoiler, I guess, is they determined that discipline is not warranted and they didn't even bother investigating it. So they say some rules here. I've read this so many times, but we'll do it. The subject of your complaint is an attorney's allegedly improper actions outside the practice of law. This office has jurisdiction to consider allegations of attorney misconduct, whether the actions were in the practice of law. It just says whether the actions were in the practice of law. I think they mean whether or not. Even lawyers, even the lawyer responsibility office leaves shit out. In R.E. Perry and the matter of Scalen, the director of this office also has discretion, however, to make such investigation as the director deems appropriate as to the conduct of any lawyer or lawyers. That's Rule 8A from the rules on lawyers' professional responsibility. The director's office has determined that no investigation will be conducted. That's cool. The director understands why this complaint was made. This is my favorite paragraph of all of these. It's the most patronizing shit you've ever heard. Because they're like, here we go. People expect more from lawyers, and conduct such as this falls short of the ideals of the profession and harms the reputation of the profession in the eyes of many. Do you guys remember how like half the lawyers in the country were probably more actually, were the biggest fans of Michael Avenatti? Right? They're like, wow, Michael Avenatti, that guy is cool. He's going after Trump. And then you're like, oh, shit. He's stealing a bunch of client money all over the place and possibly filing fraudulent documents on behalf of Stormy Daniels. And then they're like, look, this guy gets on YouTube and he says, fuck a lot. God. He says some racist jokes sometime. That's really short of the profession. We're not aspiring to the ideals. We're not aspiring to the ideals of billing you $600 an hour and when you call me, like automatically charging you 6 minutes on the call, right? So, so I get my $60 on that rather than however long I was on the phone and doing the math. It's like, well, if I picked up the phone, it's $60. Or if you answer a text message, for example, like those are the ones who are really truly bringing out the best of the profession. I wonder why. Anyway, however, the ethics rules are not as equipped as one may like to address general incivility and bullying by parties who may be lawyers. Bullying? They didn't even say it was bullying. I think they added that one in. Oh, wait, I guess calling people a bitch, is that bullying? Guess it can be. I don't know. What does bullying even mean anymore? But wait, I love this. Are not as equipped as one may like to address general incivility. Why do people want anybody addressing general incivility? Just come up and tell me I'm a piece of shit. Like, just try that. You could just do that instead. But no, they want an entity to do it for them, which is fucking weird. This determination does not state or imply that the director condones Mr. Rekieta or any other lawyer using vulgar and offensive terms in any context. Guys, the director of professional responsibility is like, man, I don't condone lawyers using profanity. God, it's just terrible. Have you met have you met any lawyer ever? Like, the amount of profanity involved, maybe you've only seen a public side of lawyers, but the amount of profanity exchanged between lawyers is astronomical. Let's see. Public discourse generally is not served well by ad hominem attacks. I guess tell Trump, right? Seem to do okay with it. However, the director and the rules of professional conduct properly recognize and support the idea that outside of the professional context, lawyers have the same First Amendment rights as all others. And God, you can hear the sadness in their voice when they say that. They're like, fucking hell. There is not clear evidence that Mr. Rekieta's statements fell within the professional context covered by the rules of professional conduct. It's not any evidence. They're way outside the rules. Oh my God. The director's office cannot represent you in any legal matter. So there you go. Thank you, Susan, for writing that. Oh God. I've got the actual words of his complaint. This again is from Mr. Douglas. So they summarized it, but here's the real words. This guy says profane, vulgar things as a lawyer, drinks while providing legal advice. I do not. Claims Minnesota Bar won't do anything about it. That's not the same. Minnesota Bar is not these guys, dummy. Douglas. Mr. Douglas. That's the last name. Mr. Douglas. I'm not a member of the Minnesota Bar. You've got it confused. The Minnesota State Bar Association is a private organization. They have nothing to do with lawyer licensing or responsibility. They're not the police. They're the bank drain. They give you fucking like 10% discount to State Farm for being a member. It's like being in the AARP, except with more hand jobs. But they're not as good because there's less Parkinson's. Everybody does this. They like report me to the bar association has to fucking hate me by now because everybody tags them on Twitter. It's like, I'm not in the bar association. I never joined them. Why would I give them money? You give them money so you can go to a meeting and hang out with lawyers? Oh my God. He is the most unprofessional lawyer I've ever seen. I'm getting there. He gives poor legal advice about all sorts of things online and insults everyone. He refuses to give his full name. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Wait, what? Refuses to give my full name. That's weird. That's very strange. But he says he is licensed in Minnesota. I am, much to the dismay of the state. He claims that you all won't take action against him, even with numerous complaints. History has borne that out. And all of his chat viewers laugh and think it's funny. Ha! Fuck you guys. Everybody out there, you're not funny. Your stand-up act sucks or whatever. Nope. This guy says all of his chat viewers laugh and thinks it's funny. All of you. Caught red-handed, cucks. Let's see. It is a mockery of the legal profession. Yes, that's 100% true. He mocks races and claims not to be a racist. He mocks sexual orientation, calls people a bitch. This wouldn't be so bad if he just completely ignored being a lawyer. Do plumbers have to deal with this? Because like I could try that out instead. But he labels his channel as Rakita Law. He spelled my fucking channel wrong. He put it in quotes and then spelled it wrong and makes it sound like he is a lawyer. Wait, so am I convincing or not? And in his channel, he said clearly he is a Minnesota lawyer, and everyone in chat thought this was good and how a lawyer should behave. Again, chat, thank you for validating me. You guys thought you were going to disappoint me, but you haven't. He also mocked a man about how slow he talked. Who did I mock about how slow he talked? Was that the guy during the Halderson trial? That guy turned out to be fucking cool. This channel is disgusting. Yes. It wouldn't be bad at all if he didn't associate himself repeatedly with the Minnesota bar. God, I hate those guys. Fucking hate the Minnesota bar. Why? No one can spell your dumb name. I know, but he put it in quotes. Like he just like he's like, this is what he calls it, and then he got it wrong. It's like, but I can spell it. It's really a shame. But hey, it is what it is or whatever. Oh shit. So anyway, that's number 57. They're not gonna do it. Shockingly, they're not gonna come after my law license for making fun of someone for talking slow or for making fun of races or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I gotta pull up the super chats. This is the part I haven't quite figured out with my standing setup yet, but we'll get there. God damn it. The fan funding thing isn't pulling up. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna try and do this. This is a little bit different setup. What I need to do is I'm gonna get a stand or an arm or something for my little tablet computer that I can have over here and handle all that stuff. Let's see. Christopher Williams says, from the lead attorney and AV side, what's up? Hey, man, what's going on? Koof, thank you for not killing yourself. Carrie says, hope you're handling all this well, Nick. Look, I don't think I handle anything well. But you just do what you can, right? Shezko S says, nice to see you. Hope you make big money. Peace. Are you saying you hope I make $1 million? That's nice of you. Nice of you. Casey Morgan 22 says $10 to make you say hypocrisy, the way a common stripper would drop a tit out. Also, fuck bootlickers. Wait, how do you say hypocrisy the way a tit would come out? I don't have the hypocrisy or whatever, like at the end of the video. Hypocrisy. Anyway, hypocrisy. How's it going, guys? Chris Benoit, 1. Mr. Ricada, I know what it's like for the public to believe lies about your personal life. Until things get sorted, I would be proud to look after your kids. I'll teach them how to make a sandwich. No, Chris, you know what? I think they're good. Someone says, yeah, $1 million bail. It was $50,000, not $1 million. Good Lord. How dare you? Get your basic facts right, silly. IDK anymore says, have you watched the Lipstick Larry animation on you? No, I've never actually heard of Lipstick Larry. But I hope it's funny at least. Dusklights says, "Welcome back, Nick. Looking forward to the streams." Well, at least one of us are. Just kidding. That was a joke. Just kidding. I actually am looking forward to getting back to work and specifically to getting into some trial streaming in the near future. I'm again just trying to work out how to do that because I have a lot to do during the day right now. Shockingly, it's kind of annoying. Last of Yahoos says, "Good luck in not Alex Jonesing yourself. Content into case. I'm off tonight and have a steak on the grill. Common good fun topics. Entertain me, Chief. Hit Camelot a fat dono. He's out going fast." I wanted to see him the other day. He was in Iowa. I thought about driving down there, but I had something going on the next morning. So unfortunately, I couldn't. Grumpy Griff says, "Fuck them all. You've been missed." Hey, thanks, buddy. Slagla says, "Nick, legally speaking, what would a person be called if he got naked on stream and showed his anus to an audience made mostly of 14 years? I think you mean 14-year-olds. Um, you know, I think they'd call him fat, if I had to guess. Let's see. Salt Miner MF says, "Aaron said he cucked you and you cucked him. What the fuck, bro? That's your wife. How'd y'all fall so far apart?" You know what? Aaron says a lot of things. And as I said before, Aaron will say what he will say. And I will let you determine his credibility without my assistance. I hope he makes $1 million. Let's see. JJ. "Hey, Nick, do you have any tips or suggestions for meds to manage narcolepsy? Modafinil is okay, but screws with my brain/language skills. I'll consult with my doctor on anything you suggest. Duh, thanks." No, modafinil has been the best narcolepsy med for me. Well, that's not entirely true. The best narcolepsy treatment for me was getting away from a 9 to 5 schedule and having a much more flexible work schedule. For me, that involved actually getting into streaming, where I was able to convert most of my active time to when I was generally more active, which was at night. That's why I have the show when it is. And then the rest of the day, I was actually more free to work when I was able. And if I got tired, I'd literally just take a nap. So treating my narcolepsy just through basic, I guess, daily modification was a great way to do it. It was way more effective, took way less medication, and I would strongly recommend that. But I know that most people don't have that ability. I didn't for a very long time. That, for me, that took something like 12 years before I could actually do that after being diagnosed. So other than that, though, modafinil has been the best prescription med for it. I tried Ritalin and Adderall. Both of those were not good for me. And I did try New Vigil, which is it's like a different version of modafinil. Provigil is a brand name for modafinil. New Vigil was something else. It made me very, very angry, like unreasonably angry. And so I stopped taking that immediately. So I hope, I don't know what else to try, man. I know some people have a lot of luck with Adderall. It literally put me to sleep. So I couldn't tell you anything else. But for me, it's modafinil's been the best. Real Patriots Party says, "Fuck them twice. The public auction that follows should be the pensions of the civil employees. Salute, Nick. Glad to be back on Rumble." To Lady R and the Racklets, highs. Thanks, man. Let's see. What do we got here? Least of Yahoo says, "Good luck." Wait, I just read that one. Becky says, "Talk like Richards." Mark Richards. Monkey in Training says, "I think you're talking too much about your case. Look, you're going to have a ton of opinions about how I do my casework, how I talk about my case, how I interact on streams, and that's fine. You're welcome to voice them, especially if you're going to give me, $1 or $2 to do that. I would encourage it. I think it helps. I think it makes me more likely to read it and consider your advice and then ignore it. But frankly, it's a lot of havoc to try and talk publicly about anything while people are asking you questions without ever addressing any of them. So some of it's going to happen. And I just try not to go to prison. There you go. There's Mark Richards for you. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try something right now. This is cool. This is new to me. This is brand new to me. There's a way to do ad reads right on the stream. Like right now. This is cool. There you go. Okay. This is an ad. Oh, it said I can't do it because there's too many people watching. Let's try this one. Wait, what? There's too many people watching again. It's a minimum of 2,000. How many? Like, I'm not. Let's see if this one works. What? My viewership is exceeding the campaign payout ability. That's so. Wait, how do you? Why can't you just pay me the maximum? This is a terrible program if I can never accept it because too many people are watching. Oh, come on. This is amazing. So too high for that one too. All of these ads, all the ad reads on Rumble that are available, too many of you are watching. But they don't tell you what the maximum amount is. They just say, wow, there's too many people watching. Sorry. I guess we're going to have to skip the ads. Oh, wait, no, we got one. Here it is. Oh, thank you to Neutronics Labs. Discover the natural solution to low testosterone levels. Of fucking course. Of course. Of course, that would be. Discover the natural solution to low testosterone levels with Man's Edge from Neutronics Labs. Our generation faces a testosterone crisis due to lifestyle and diet, leading to fatigue and weight gain. Oh boy. All right. Fatsos. Man's Edge combines fenugreek, IGF-1, NO2, and more, offering more than a standard booster. Studies show a 46% increase in testosterone levels with fenugreek. Why can't you just chew on a regular Greek? Unlike powders and pills, Man's Edge. Man's Edge ensures up to 98% absorption. Don't miss our limited time offer. Buy one bottle with auto ship and get a free 300,000 IGF-1 Plus, which is a $350 value, and save 50% on your first order. Reclaim your vitality at neutronicslabs.com. There we go. I think I have to put this thing in the fucking description. There's like a what are these things called? A QR code or whatever, which you could scan. I guess you could point your like phone at your TV. I don't know how this works. What the fuck is this? This is a cool system, except for all the ads that I couldn't read. But yeah, here you go, guys. neutronicslab.com. Thank you very much for supporting the stream. As you guys know, I'm proudly supported now by a sort of pharmaceutical company. And the first one I could get is for low testosterone. Why? Sometimes God hates you, but most of the time he loves you. I'm trying to add it to the description. I think I have to add it to the description on YouTube. Here you go. Neutronixlabs.com. I think I'm going to have fun with these ad reads, though. That was cool. I think I could do a whole bunch of them. I don't think you're limited to how many you do. I'm not actually going to do another one right now. Yeah, it's grayed out. You've reached the maximum number of allowed campaign reads for this stream. Guys, we're immediately shutting this stream down, and we're doing another stream right now. I'm just kidding. Holy shit. Ron Vaders over on YouTube just dropped a fucking, or on Rumble, just dropped a fucking massive Rumble rant. Thank you so much, Ron Vaders. He says it's a roundup. Stay strong, stay positive, stay safe. Ignore the bots and the trolls and stay vocal. It is what it is. Thank you very much, Ron Vaders, Ron Vaders, Ronva Ters, Ronvat Ers. However you pronounce that. Thank you very much. That was very cool. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. One thing in all this is, of course, it's super expensive. So that's great. But I really do appreciate that, man. It helps. Foregone says, you chose the gayest Joker. Not even base Heath Ledger, but the feminine crybaby Joaquin Phoenix. I did. I actually prefer this Joker. I really do. I liked Heath Ledger. I liked Heath Ledger more than Heath Ledger liked Heath Ledger. I would have kept him alive. But no, I always liked the Joaquin Joker for a very specific reason. I think he resonated a ton with how a generation of men were feeling, specifically people, especially at the time that I was doing the show, when this is out, was the white male demographic between 20 and 35, really. Maybe a little older, a little younger, either way. But I think they resonated with watching the world be absolute shit around them, and just having to sit there and wallow in it while everybody else just fucks off and nothing makes any sense to them. And you have this compulsive laugh, or well, he did. That laugh was perfectly symbolic of the frustration and rage that you have to channel through no outlet. I always loved that about it, right? And then, of course, you get what you fucking deserve. It's a rather good moment. Red Shirt Lexi says, you said you tested clean, but what about your offspring? Also, your arms look like they have a lot of weird marks on them. Yeah, guys, I don't know how else to say this. I know people are very concerned about weird marks. I have cholinergic urticaria, cholinergic or cholinergic. So when I'm warm, like right now, I break out into hives. It's cool. And sometimes they get really itchy and you scratch them and they scratch open. It's not fun. It's not pleasant. It started when I was 35 and it's been a fucking miserable nightmare for 7 years. So cool. There you go. There you have it. It's almost like, there's a reason for them. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Pest says, should Ashley test her kids? Hashtag Ashley test them kids. I don't know or care what Ashley should or shouldn't do. Whoever that is, whatever. I know what kids you're probably referring to, but look, those kids don't deserve fucking any of this. And people talking about them is just as frustrating to me as people talking about anybody else. I don't think that those kids should be subject to the online discussion. So that's all I'm going to say on it. If people send those chats, I'll read them and dismiss them. but I'm not interested in carrying people's torches. I draw local moms. Wait, what? Nikki Raggett's Griff King tote bags in bio. Good luck. Wait, tote bags? That'd be cool. Griff King tote bags in bio. Wait, your bio or mine? Big Happy says when you go to jail, can you get a Law Pope Vanity commissary number asking for a friend? I don't know. I'm gonna eventually I'll get to tell all my jail stories, but they didn't give me any of the stuff you're supposed to get in regards to having your commissary number. They didn't give me the little device that you can use. They make you say that you agree to abide by the terms of the handbook at the jail, for example. But the handbook is just a QR code, and they don't give you the little fucking they didn't give me the little fucking device to scan the QR code. So I didn't even get to read what it said. It's cool. That's how my jail experience was. It was fun. Here we go. Here we go. The most banned queen says, is it considered professional for a lawyer to announce on social media they're withdrawing their offer of pro bono representation, or are those convos supposed to be private? I think if they made a public offer, they could probably make a public withdrawal of the offer. I mean, the question I would have is why? I don't remember hiring or agreeing to pro bono representation. I thought it was a very generous offer, but if we're talking about someone in reference to me, because someone did offer me that, and I was not aware that that offer was off the table. But hey, I don't know. Maybe you're talking about someone else, but I thought the offer was very generous. If it's off the table, that makes me sad. It's too bad. Family Shopping says, what's worse than a bus full of lawyers going over a cliff? An empty seat. Lol. The worst is the tragedy of the dead bus driver. North Rendish says, Nick, I'm on your side. You were a staple of my shitty work nights for the last few years. Hope you can pull through this, brother. All will out, man. All will out. Aesthetic says, what do you think Jim will think about the recent document leak? I imagine it's broken his heart. I hope not. I want Jim to live, and a broken heart might kill him. Agent Anderson says, hey, Nick, we connected on Twitter about a documentary I was working on, The Pussification of Law Enforcement. Well, it's out now. earthlingmedia.com/unbecoming. Love seeing you back. Hey, guys, check that out about the pussification of law enforcement, which I could probably talk about at some point. Bunch of pussies. Pretty sure I told him that. Crispin Watt 24 says, finally, a man with a parenting style I can hang with. I've literally seen people do worse, right? I see a lot. Oh my God. I see a lot of myself in how you approach caring for your wife and kids. We're on a good path, man. Come on. Wow. Oh my goodness. Big Happy says, wait, I read that one. I guess some things never change, like me rereading super chats. Damn it. Where do we go? Oh my gosh. Prayers for you and your family for a speedy resolution. Thanks for all that you do. That's from Athens at Work. Thank you very much. Noble Demon Tim says, Porco Dio, Brittany Venti is a living example of an IRL La Donna Immobile. Look up the lyrics and learn. Hammurabi was right over false accusations. There you go. I have no idea what that means, but go for it. MK Ultra Victim says, who's that in the painting behind you? Is that your dad? The Joker? Yes. Or do you mean Johnny Depp? Also, yes. Let's see. Mullet Kid says, did you ever catch up on Super Chats? What way is my heat pump fan supposed to spin? Directly at me. Robin Williams says, is a child-year-old You think you can mess with me, Mang? I'll crush you like a cockroach, Mang. Okay. I don't know what that means. Music Biz Marty account 142 says, don't be ill advised, be Gill advised. Need to get a wireless. Need to actually, I think my mouse can be wireless. I just never needed it to be before. Let's see. Nick Brown, life is like a Parkinson's hand job. You never know what you're going to get. Dax NTH says, F haters, thanks for streaming. Gnostic Man says, maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's methamphetamine. That's it could be, I suppose. Crispin One says, stop stealing my bit, you fag. Shesko S says, Lamau, too many viewers. Lamau, God is good. When he was too good, it wasn't even that big of a stream. That means like their viewer count is like, or the minimum viewership was 2,000 and we had like 4,500 people. So I don't know. I don't know what you needed to do. Shesko S says, cheers, Ronvitters. Well said. Namey says, you know what hurts the most? The lack of respect, that hurt the most. Except for the other thing that hurt the most, but the lack of respect, that hurt the second most. That's a great movie. Eugelus Sneed says, you are simply too autistic to not drug your own kids. It's an argument, I suppose. B. Ivory Law says, at least your kids didn't test positive for Pepsi. That would be a shame. Pendar says, super chat to irritate the trolls. Sonia Lizette says, great to see you, Nick. You've been missed. Hey, thanks, Sonia. Very nice to see you, too. The squid. We all know Aaron has no credibility. He's just mad he got cucked instead of getting to the wife swapping. Scott Christie Jones says, after that intro, you're the white Rosa Parks. Damn right. Rosa Parks didn't do nothing for no black people. She just got tired and sat her ass down on a bus. It's a great fucking scene from Barbershop. Senator Funstein says, do you know any venal scientists with a gas chromatograph? No. No. Why would I? Mr. Me says, bro, just get good fast, man, and get out of this shit. I would love to be out of this shit. I just love, I love that. Like, and I'm not even being shitty or mean or anything about this. It's just a basic misunderstanding. Like, people are like, well, just do this thing and just show them this. It's like, well, it doesn't work that way. Like, I hope you understand this. If you are accused by government and you walk into the prosecutor's office and you just show them every reason that they're wrong, they can just go, see you in court. Because there's no mechanism to force them to stop a case. No matter how, like, you can do everything, and there's still a process to it. So again, all of our arguments, any exculpatory, someone's like, just show them exculpatory evidence. It's like, do you realize that it's evidence is just, it's evidence of something. Evidence is not a conclusion. Evidence is not a legal finding. Evidence is not anything other than you get to draw some sort of further thought from this thing. That's what you get. You can show exculpatory evidence to the government all day and they'll just go, cool. Maybe that evidence is inadmissible for whatever reason, or maybe they have different evidence. Like, there's any number of reasons why you can't just go into an office and show someone a thing and make it end. Like, people are suggesting that you can just, guys, if everybody who is not guilty of something could just walk up and show someone, hey, I'm not guilty. Look, here's my 3-ring binder full of reasons. Oh, yeah. Our legal system just doesn't work that way. We would love to be able to do that. If there were like some perfect judicial AI that could accomplish that task, sure, it would be horrible. It'd be terrifying. We probably wouldn't want it. But like, there isn't a system to do that. There is no go show them the thing and then they'll just stop. It's the government. They don't work that way. Let me tell you a very quick story about this, actually, because this was fun for me. I was hired by a woman who had been dating a man for, I think, 10 years, long-term relationship. The man was charged with domestic violence against the woman. The woman came in to hire me. And the story was kind of wild. Here's what happened. According to the woman's son had come home after committing crimes. I don't remember what they were. I think it was drug sales or something like that. Son was a minor, came home after committing some crimes. Mother and son get into an altercation of some sort. It was implied physical, but I don't think she wanted her son to be charged with domestic violence, so she didn't really get too much into it. They started scrapping with each other in some way. The boyfriend, who's a man in his 40s, comes in, sees them engaged in altercation, puts his arms around the kid and pulls him off the mother. Just kind of pulls him away. Does not harm the kid at all. Doesn't hit him or anything like that. The kid struggles, runs out the door. Mother and boyfriend run out after him. Kid's waiting like a fucking cartoon character with a shovel. And when the guy comes out, wham, hits him in the fucking face with a shovel. Hits him again with a shovel while he's down, and then scampers off. And they're like, he's sitting there fucking bleeding. He's got his face all knotted up from getting hit with a shovel, right? And the kid turns around and throws rocks at them to keep them from pursuing and then runs off. All right. So this kid then gets arrested. The kid is charged with the underlying criminal acts. But he tells this story about how his jacket got ripped. And he says that the boyfriend of the mother was hitting him and fighting with him. And that the boyfriend of the mother pushed the mother to the ground and yelled at her. She tells me this isn't true. She handwrites a letter to the prosecutor because the prosecutor's like, we're going after this guy. He's fucking toast. She handwrites a letter to the prosecutor, which lays out this entire story. She's the only witness other than the kid. I bring the letter to the prosecutor. I'm like, here you go, buddy. Your only witness other than this kid who's being charged with crimes at the exact same time is not going to testify to this. So you're not going to have a witness here who's the alleged victim. And the prosecutor says this to me, to my face. He says, you think I fucking care about this letter? I'm going after this piece of shit. And I said, he didn't do it. The victim hired me to defend the alleged abuser and is telling you that this is what happened and that she will not testify because he didn't do it. The son was lying. He says, nope, we're running with this. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So we go to pre-trial. And that morning, the kid confesses and to his, he pleads guilty to the other crimes, confesses to them, and says that he made up the story about the boyfriend and that the boyfriend never hit the mom or did anything. He just goes in on the record, says it didn't happen. So now the prosecutor doesn't have either witness. I walk in with a smile on my face to the conference room pre-trial. Like, all right, man, we can go dismiss this out. He says, why would we dismiss this out? I'm charging this guy. I'm going for this. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding. Your witness, your only other witness just said that it didn't happen. The victim says it didn't happen. And he goes, the victim, she had like a fraud conviction from like 5 years prior. He's like, I'm going to say that her testimony, she won't even be able to testify. I'll disqualify the victim from testifying because of her dishonesty for fraud. He like lays into me forever about this. And he was just not going to let up at all. It was amazing. We got the case dismissed out, but the prosecutor was like, we gave him all the evidence. We did the thing that people want me to do. Like, go in, just show him why you're not guilty. Like, just tell him, geez, Nick, just go do it. Okay. You can't do that. You can't go in and just tell them. They still will run the case against you. They still run it. You have to do it in court. And if you don't understand that, I'm sorry. I wish it were not so. I wish there was a submit a solution, right? Like to an IT guy, like an Indian guy comes on, he's like, okay, it's just that would be great, but it doesn't work that way. Carrie says, what I was saying is that I hope you're getting through, considering the BS that's happening. Wishing you and the fam all the best. Thank you. Also, fuck the haters. They don't know shit. We actually give a fuck about you. Oh, I know. I know you do. Thank you. I appreciate it. Robin Williams says Pod Awful is watching. He's not watching that calorie count. Tetsuo Wrath says, it's more than obvious your haters voted for Biden and invest a lot in hair dyes. Prayers, man. Miss those Jay Sean Lemoyneisms. Hey, Tetsuo's Wrath, I'm going to come for your mother, even though she never comes for me. Bob Laguy says, all other thoughts pending. For what it's worth, you appear more rested and healthy. This opinion brought to you by Pfizer. Oh my gosh. It is amazing what happens when you like aren't sick and can actually eat. That helps a lot. Grifty says, Emmy Jean Grifty came into the world at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hey, congrats, brother. 8 pounds, 14 ounces. It takes... I'll take a rain check on the toast because I ain't going anywhere. Hashtag sweeper for life. Oh, man. Thanks, Grifty. It's tea, but cheers to you and the baby. Love the fuck out of that kid. Do it. And B says modafinil or phentermine. I don't know what the fuck phentermine is. I'm prescribed modafinil. Paul Ogg says, here's to when you get to speak freely on all of this. Oh, that'll be interesting. Monty's favorite melon. Ew, it's dripping. It's been said before, and I'll say it again. The only solution to corrupt politicians is a guillotine. All these Dune Smurf, ghetto gagging, CPS donkey fuckers whining because they allegedly got told no. Okay. Monty's favorite melon also says, and all these cum guzzlers doxing kids when you can't even defend yourself should get the same. Get in the rail carts now. Damn. Monty's favorite melon also says, also, thank you for all the booze. I really needed it to numb the pain of Monty cutting another hole in me when he gets back at night upset because all the kids left the playgrounds and went home without him. Gee, this guy's going all in on Monty like Monty went in on him. Monty's favorite melon also says, and in case anyone forgot, Epstein didn't kill himself and Monty is still a melon fucker who makes weird videos with young children. Help me. Damn. Shesko S says, hashtag super chat to irritate the trolls. Most Band Queen says, where is April? Where is April? There she is. There she is, hiding under the desk, giving Nick a nibble. Yum, yum, yum. Well, geez. Not even by my desk. Well, that means one of two things, I guess. Aesthetic says, you know, I know you watched the gym stream. I didn't. I wanted to. Dude, I haven't had time to watch this shit. There's a bunch of streams I want to watch. And yeah, they're about me. Of course, I want to know like what various people are saying about me. And I legitimately haven't had time to do it. I would love to. It says, will you say you don't, you act like you don't care. Will you answer his question? Was it worth it? Was what worth what? Yeah, I'll answer his question, but was what worth what? I don't know what he was asking. Like I haven't watched it legitimately. I wanted to. I started watching the other, if you're talking about the Father's Day one, I started asking the other gym or watching the other gym stream. I got like 10 minutes in, had to stop because I got distracted and never got back to it. And then I haven't watched the most recent one. Family Shopping says, or Family's Hoping, Family's Hoping, not Family Shopping. Says, Nick, I hope you work things out. P.S. I'm still voting for Trump. Go for it. Jason of TGA says, I missed a lot of the drama working. Has the Sonichu curse passed to Dick as Medicare suggested? I don't know. I think Riley boofed the Sonichu medallion. last time I saw him. Drex's Unused Baldo says, Rumble Cat Monty's Melon Rants. Thank you for being my parent for all these unhinged ramblings that are absolutely 1000% my own and not yours in any way, shape, or form or any legal context. Drex's Unused Baldo says, he said to tell you, don't you even think of trying to subpoena me or I'll introduce you to the most unbreaded Allahu Akbar you've ever experienced. Signed warmly, Monty's favorite melon. Gal515 says, you mentioned your dad the other day. Hope you do a live stream with him someday. That would be fun. Praying for you and your family, but God. It just says, but God, ... See. I draw local moms says, mugshot tote bags in my bio. Good luck, Rackets. Hey, thanks, man. Or woman, or they, them. Mullet Kid says, can't you just tell them it's not yours? You were holding it for someone. I always work for people I know. They don't know what someone is the same someone that is in the bathroom when you shout. In the bathroom when you shout. The fuck does that mean? No, you can't just tell them that. But see, here's the thing. Just, again, as a general matter, I am charged with possession. Okay, so to establish possession, the government bears the burden of proving beyond a reasonable doubt that I was exercising exclusive dominion or control over the substance. That's what they have to prove. That's their burden of proof. And there's a bunch of tests to prove it. There's things like constructive possession. There's a whole lot of different ways to show possession, and the government will bear the burden of proving that beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't have to tell them anything. They have to prove that I was possessing the thing that they say I'm possessing. That's it. That's what this case is about. And that will be fought in court. It won't be fought here. There's nothing I can say here to convince them or persuade them. There's no, like, even if they happen to be watching one of these streams and I say the perfect defense or whatever, it won't matter. It has to be brought in court. It has to be brought appropriately under the rules of evidence, under the rules of criminal procedure. And that's what has to be done. There isn't like, oh, I just walk off and say that. Like, I could go tell them that. They would write it down in a little notepad and they'd say, thanks. See you at the next hearing. So no, it's not that simple. Just a moment. Got to get back to the spot. Drama Harmony says the Joker's freaking me out. How about Jack Nicholson, Bogart, Judge Judy? I like this one. Alice Martinez says, I have eczema. It gets itchy and my skin and it gets bloody. Yeah. It's amazing what an itchy skin condition can do. It's really fucking frustrating. Stacy Pruitt retracted the message, but thank you for the chat. EDW Raptor says, what were you and April looking for before the stream? We were worried when we heard you looking for something on the hot mic. I was looking for all my fucking windows. That's what I was doing. Reformed Convict says, eat more, be fatty again. Best wishes, stay strong. Again, at my lowest weight when I was sick was 150 pounds. And that was way fucking low. I'm probably 165 to 168 right now, which is about where I want to be. Saints until I get into the gym and, grow like 5 pounds of shoulders. Saints and Maker says, hey, Nick, sending you love and prayers from Utah. With your busy daytime schedule, do a mid-evening law review stream. We'll show up, chin up, say hi to Sunny for me. Rachel the Riveter. Hey, what's up, Rachel? First of all, I will say hi to Sunny for you. But yes, again, looking to figure out where in the daytime to place these streams. Because my things are a little weird. John Burns says, putting aside all accusations, glad to see you've put yourself on a cleaner path without alcohol. That's true. No alcohol. It's great. Joe Moses says, weird, the trolls don't realize they are feeding you. They are not. Don't. Jesus. Art the Clown says, I just want to thank Ryan, the editor, for being a bro. He is a bro. Oh shit, bro! I promised to call today. Brian, you're fired. Jasper Plan 9 says, good to see you back. Yellow Flash went full tart and gay with a couple Canadians earlier. You need better mods, man. I'm not super. I know people moderated a lot on my return stream. I'm not super interested in a bunch of moderation. Really, I want people to get to say what they get to say. I don't want people saying sensitive details about children. That's basically it. James D. Walker says, pro tip, Ricada is still best enjoyed with corn instrumentals in the background. Yeah. Baseline from Freak on a Leash is pretty fucking good. Corrections 101 says, can we get an unbreaded verse like old times? Not tonight, mainly because I haven't gotten the setup where I can easily bring that on stream, but it's coming, like I am. IDK anymore says, Lipstick Larry animation summed you up perfectly. I guess I'll check it out. IDK anymore also said, the Lipstick Larry video on YouTube, it's called Overruled, a Nick Ricada animated story. Debbie says, aloha, Nick. Hey, what's up, Debbie? And family, keeping you and your family in my prayers. Thank you. I truly believe in you. You've got me through tough times, and I'll forever be grateful. Thank you, Debbie. Aloha to you. Billy, welcome to Paralegal Status. Kevin Huntz says, here is an Indian proverb. Here's an Indian proverb. There are two wolves on your shoulder. Not on mine. Mine are too small. One is gay and the other one is gee. Kyle Huggett says, I was falsely accused of crimes worse than what you were accused of years ago. You're finding out who your real friends are. Priceless. It's a shame. It's a shame because there are people who know my character and know exactly what bullshit some of this is. And when those people turn on you without talking to you, it's kind of sucks. But hey, you know, what are they supposed to do? They can only make assessments based on what they see and then what they have to performatively do for super chat money. I mean, that's the real conversation considerations that they're doing here is they're like, well, look, I can only see this and then I have to base my decisions on what I see and just what I have to do to maximize super chat income. Just kidding. Triton 54 says, is that type of BS gun charge typical? Do I need to empty my armory before I cheat on my taxes? I don't know if there's a taxes guns law, but I'd check with a lawyer in your state. Foregone says, Nick, it's not worth it. Don't throw it all away. It will haunt you for the rest of your life. You still have time to make yourself better. Don't throw it all away. But I bought a big dumpster. Uncle Andy says the only reason you're on right now is for money. Yes, absolutely. Also because work is cathartic and it is helpful and sitting around not working is fucking stressful. And I know like you can say streaming isn't work and I'll agree with you or whatever, but like not doing things that you do is maddening. It puts you into a cabin fever mode. I don't like it. It's taken me so long to start it up because I have to be really careful about how I do it and really intentional in a way that I haven't had to do. Now I do have to do it that way. So it's taken some adaptation, but hey, working on it. Stacy Pruitt says, Pope, I didn't retract. I said, I love you. I don't know why it said message retracted. Well, I love you back, Stacy. Thank you. You're one of my favorites, and I look forward to all the moments that we have wrecking cooks. Drop Barracuda says, in entirely unrelated news, I'm celebrating my 4th day in a row with more sinkers than floaters. P.S. Prayers for the fam. Stay real, stay strong. Congratulations, Drop Barracuda. Sounds like the Barracudas are finally getting down low. Ocean Redux says, don't you forget about me. Island Girl says, as a daughter of an alcoholic, I love that you're toasting with tea now, praying for you and your family. Thank you. Ron Vitter says, all patrons of this podcast are on the shit list, regardless of their hope of anonymity. Probably. Aesthetic says, how much to play the Was It Worth It monologue from the gym on stream? Not today. That's how much it is. Mainly because I don't actually know how to do that on Rumble Studio right now with the setup that I have. But once I figure it out, I'll let you know. with that, guys, we've got some topics coming up here. I'm going to actually probably wrap up the show tonight. But thank you for hanging out with me. But we do have some topics coming up. The Supreme Court has been issuing some really good rulings, some questionable rulings, and they're changing the way things are done. Obviously, Trump v. Biden is heating up and will continue to heat up through November. We've got the Trump cases. Fannie Willis is on the fucking chopping block. Everybody's telling me to stream Young Thug, which I'm strongly considering doing. Hopefully I can get that started right away, but we'll see. The Tonsil Twins case is done. The guy won and the lying lady lost, so that's good. I guess she didn't get pregnant from blowjobs or whatever. And then there's also the Karen Reed trial, which looks like a great, perfect execution of justice, right? Just remember, the government is always right in all accusations. The Karen Reed trial will show you that. Ahawazabanda says, can I get a dry toast from my third born? Super healthy and very blessed. Switching to zone defense with 3 is kicking my ass. Love you, sir. It's a wet toast, but with sweet tea. A toast to your third born. They are agents of mischief and strife, as they do outnumber you. The first child is terrifying. The second child is a little bit stressful, but easier than the first. The third one is a fucking sledgehammer to the face because you no longer can divide and conquer. You now have a third one running around. Fourth child, smooth sailing. Go for it. Cheers. May that little third one bring you infinitely more joy than strife and frustration. Jason of TGA says, when you get to my age, 50, you realize that most of the people you grew up with are dead, which makes you a winner. Oh my gosh. Foregone says, mock the message, but it's true. It will haunt you forever. Well, yes, if I were to throw everything away, it would haunt me forever. It's not what I'm doing, homie. Andrew Zelda says, don't care what people say. Still have much love for you. Keep living your best life. Well, looking to get to living my best life for now. Living as we have to. Riley Oost Lifeson says, much love from Utah, Nick. Don't let these single childless lames who have no clue how the system works get to you. Stories of redemption are the most inspiring. This is where true loyalty is found. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I bid myself adieu. I hope to see you next time. Yes, that's me saying cunt. Shit, the art of my art says 269 members of Congress can spend trillions. Fuck them. Last of Yahoo says, greatest joke I've ever heard. Of course he would be late and gay to his own search warrant. Giving any thought to looking at Good Logic's lawsuits against Gags. Find Gags to be a compliment myself. Sure, I could look into those. Those are interesting things. You know, and again, that whole I wasn't home. Late and gay to my own search warrant. Maybe you should see if you can do some homework yourself on why that might be an interesting facet. Jay, thank you for the super chat. Stacy Pruitt says, Pope, I'm here with you, ride or die. Hey, thank you. Well, it says ride or dough, but I think you mean ride or die. Thank you, Stacy. Really appreciate it. And people like you will help me get through this so much. I really do. Really do appreciate that. It means a lot. Like, joking aside, it means a lot for my family. Get Over It Live says, making sure I'm on the shit list and piss off Jeremy Griggs. Look, I'm not going to say that. I haven't actually seen what Jeremy said. Something about me having a terrible response. Like, if anybody thought my response on my comeback stream was terrible or whatever, cool. Everyone's got a different opinion on how to do social media, on how to approach things. I hope Jeremy's never in the situation I was in, having to deal with the sort of prospect of coming back that I did in that way. And if he were to choose to do it differently, that's great. I did it the way I do it. And I'm not going to apologize for being me. And a bunch of people asked me to apologize for being me. Which is fucking weird because, like, haven't you met me? I'm not going to do that, buddy. I'm not going to do that at all. But yeah. I wish, as always, I wish Jeremy the best. I haven't even watched what he said. I don't know. If he said the most negative shit on earth, I'd just go, yeah, it's fine. Okay. And I hope we can talk later. All right, guys. I will catch you all later. I'm not sure what the rest of the night holds. It's 1 a.m. It's getting kind of late. Locals, probably some this weekend or maybe tonight. I don't know. We'll see. And I kind of got some games that I'd like to play on Twitch, which is rare and weird. So we might see that come back at some point. All right, guys. Catch you next time. Have a good night. Peace. Peace.